Hello everyone, this is Mr. Appel. I'm going to show you one way to determine whether a function, or try to explain even and odd. So one way is thinking about a function is even if f of negative x is equal to f of x. Now that's a little abstract, so let's look at an example to kind of show you what I mean by that. So that means any x that you plug in, if you plug in the negative of that, the opposite of that, you're going to get the same answer every time. So for example, I'm just going to start making a little table here. Pick your favorite x. Let's say x is 3. If I plug 3 into that, 3 squared is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. So that's if x is 3. So now let's do f of negative x, so the opposite of 3. So if I put a negative 3, do I get the same answer? Well, let's plug that in. Negative 3 squared is positive 9. 9 plus 2 is 11, and it works. I get the same answer with x and negative x. So that's what this expression means when it's, or this equation, when it says f of negative x is equal to f of x. Again, it means that any x you plug in, you get the same answer as if you plug in the negative of that number. Now that can't just happen once, it needs to happen all the time. So pick another number. Let's say x is 7. 7 squared is 49, plus 2 is 51. So if I plug in negative 7, I should get the same thing. If I do, that indicates that this is even. So negative 7 squared is positive 49, plus 2 is 51, and we see that that works. So that's what it means for a function to be even. And you can kind of see why that happens. If you plug in an x value that's either positive or negative, and then you square it, you get the same answer. And that sort of illustrates why that's even. Okay, now let's look at an odd function. Odd function says that when you plug in the opposite x, you get the opposite y. You get the opposite answer. So let me show you an example of what we mean there. So let's say when x is 3. So f of 3, so if I plug 3 in, 3 cubed is 27. 27 minus 4 times 3, that's 12. So that's 27 minus 12, which is 15. So now let's see what happens when I plug in the opposite x value, when I plug in negative 3. So when I plug in negative 3, I get negative 3 cubed, which is negative 27. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. So I get negative 27 plus 12, which is negative 15. So notice that when I did f of x, I got 15 when I did f of 3. But when I did f of negative 3, I got the negative of that answer. That's what this equation says. So when you plug in opposite x values, you get the opposite y values. That's what it looks like in English. And again, if we pick, let's say, oh, why am I picking a number like 7? No, I don't want to cube 7. Let's do 2. So 2 cubed is 8. Oh, that's a terrible example because it gets me 0. Let's try 4. So 4 cubed is 64. Minus 16 is 48. So now when I plug in negative 4, I'd expect to get negative 48. And I do, because I get negative 64. And then the negative 4 times negative 4 is plus 16, which is negative 48. So that's what it means to be an odd function. So if you really, I like looking at it this way because in the table you can kind of see for odd functions, when you plug in opposite x values, you get opposite y's. But in an even function, when you plug in opposite x's, you get the same y. That's what it means. That's all. And if it's neither of those things happen, if you get different answers, then it's neither even nor odd. That's all for now. Thanks.